In today's episode, Magdalena asks, from your point of view, what are the main indicators of performance in marketing? Well, it depends. What is the goal of marketing? What is the goal of your marketing? Because that's what your key performance indicator is going to be, and it's going to be wildly different depending on your company, your industry, the company's size, how you do business. And it even will vary down to the practitioner, down to the individual person. The marketing coordinator's KPI is going to be very different than the CMO's KPIs, as they should be. I think it's important to define what a KPI is. And my definition that I use is if this number goes to 0, or whatever the maximum bad state is, but if this number goes to 0, you get fired, right? So the marketing coordinator at, say, a massive Fortune 5 company, their personal KPI may actually be like, yeah, you got to get us more Instagram followers, and if you don't, you're fired, right? So that there's a personal KPI there that that indicates whether that person is performing well or not. However, at a business level, at an organization level, a KPI needs to have business impact. It needs to be, it has to in some way turn into dollars. The only exception to this is when you have an outcome that is a non-dollar outcome that your company or your organization is going after. And really, the only non-dollar outcome, because even nonprofits, for example, have things like donations and corporate donors and stuff like that to keep the lights on. The only non-dollar tangible outcome I can think of, as an example, would be a politician seeking election, where there's a measurable outcome, elected or not elected, but it is not a financial outcome. At least the election isn't. The bribes are, but the election isn't. Sorry, it's me being a little cynical. But in order for everyone else will have KPIs that have to turn into dollars, and the closer that your KPI is to dollars, the more meaningful it is and the more valuable it is to your organization. So, for example, let's take in the B2B marketing world, website traffic is pretty far away from dollars, right? It's, you got a whole bunch of stages. If you pull up, someone's sales pipeline, they've got like 44 stages in their CRM. Website traffic's way on the end, and so it's really far away from dollars. On the other hand, if you were a super clever marketer and you were using AI chatbots and all the crazy new technologies, and you could reliably deliver sales qualified leads, or even real opportunities to your sales team, guess what? That is very close to dollars. And so your performance as a marketer would be much more closely watched, but also much more valuable to the organization, because you're delivering as close to dollars as you can get within your role. And so when we're trying to decide what indicators to use for performance in marketing, the closer we are to dollars, the better. The same is true in any other industry. If you are if you're working in B2C, in retail, the closer you can get to someone taking an item off the rack and putting it at the register, the better. So if you are doing end cap performance or in-store walk-ins and things, those are much more valuable than, say, brand awareness. That's not to say that brand awareness isn't important, but it is part of the chain of evidence that gets you to take the item, put it on the register, and have the person check out. So those KPIs need to be as close to dollars as possible. Now, you say, well, not everybody in the organization, whatever, can have the register checkouts or mortgage applications or car sales or oil wells drilled as their KPI. That's true. So what you need to do in order to get to take the business KPI and decompose it is you need to do what in statistics is called multiple linear regression or multiple regression. You're going to take your KPIs laid out on a giant spreadsheet with as fine a resolution as you can get. So maybe it's monthly data, cool. Weekly data, better. Daily data, great. And then you're going to take all your KPIs, they're going to be columns in the spreadsheet, and then you're going to take all your other metrics. So social media followers, mentions, brand awareness, clicks on ads, newspaper articles, press releases sent out that day, talk shows that your executives were on, all that stuff, everything that you can possibly lay out into a spreadsheet that is a non-zero value. And then you're going to run this statistical test, this multiple regression, to figure out what combinations of variables have the strongest statistical relationship to your KPIs. So it might be like, okay, with the number of Instagram comments, plus clicks on the pay-per-click ads, plus talk shows, plus articles in our trade magazine, plus number of conversations at conferences, equals it has the strongest mathematical relationship to sales or sales qualified leads or store walk-ins. Once you've done that math, you established correlation, and then the next step is to do testing. And you say, okay, for whatever reason, Instagram comments plus videos on YouTube seem to have the strongest relationship. So let's double the amount of work that we do on those variables and see if leads increases proportionally. So if we double the amount of YouTube videos that do well, and we double the amount of Instagram comments we get, do leads also double? And then so you test causality. Once you've tested causality and you've established that, yes, this mathematical relationship is because these variables cause the KPI, now you have the ability to take those variables that you know cause the KPI and assign them to people. Like, hey, social media manager, instead of followers on Instagram, turns out that doesn't have a mathematical relationship or a causal relationship with leads, but comments contain the word great do. So make stuff that people comment that say great. That's your new KPI. Hey, pay-per-click manager. Now CPA around $25 and click-through rate above 10%. That's your new KPI. And so you can decompose, based on all of the metrics that you have, you can decompose your business KPIs into individual KPIs, and everybody now knows what to focus on. And that's super valuable because it means that instead of having to try and do everything, you focus on the stuff that is mathematically working 80% of the time, and then you leave 20% of your time and efforts to experiment with new stuff, to always be testing and trying out new things. But if you do that, you'll waste a lot less money, you'll waste a lot less time trying to measure and do everything. You focus only on the things that you've mathematically proven, first through correlation, then through testing and causality to establish causality that works, that generates the business outcomes that you're looking for. Now, that math is not necessarily easy, but it works because you are using the scientific method. You are proving that what you've done will have a real business outcome that is measured in dollars or as close to dollars as you are allowed to get within your role. So, great question. The main indicators of performance in marketing are whatever's working to generate the business outcome. Great question. This is also a part of the series for Brand 24, so you'll see this on the Brand 24 website as well. If you have questions for You Ask, I Answer, or for any of the podcasts and blogs and stuff that I do for myself and for Brain Trust Insights, please leave it in the comments. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the newsletter. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. If you want help with your company's data and analytics, visit braintrustinsights.com today and let us know how we can help you.